Hi guys, Blake here today with Lily's Landing Resort and Marina on Upper Lake Taneycomo. It is Friday the 8th of October and this is going to be the one cast today. So today I'm sitting right about where the golf course starts. I'm kind of out in the middle. I'm probably going to scoot just a touch over towards the golf course side there. Today I have a 5-weight fly rod. I've got a size 12 UV gray scud. About 16 inches above that I have an SSG split shot, which is 1.6 grams of weight. And then I've got that set about just about 10.5 foot under the indicator, and the indicator is one of the medium-sized airlock bobbers indicator, whatever you want to call it. And we're gonna try drifting a scud. The conditions aren't quite the same as they were for Phil and Josh just a little bit ago. They've cranked the water up to 3 units now, which is why I have the bigger split shot and indicator on, and the bigger scud. The water is kind of dirty. I'm gonna let the boat get drifting to speed here. Okay. What I'm doing there is water load casting, letting it hit the water behind me and then kind of popping it off the water. Seems to be the easiest way to do that. You're working with long leaders and heavy weights. It's about 2:45 in the afternoon. I actually kicked the water on around 1 today. Phil and Josh were up here not too long ago. They were drifting scuds a little bit before the water came on, and then after it came on, they only turned it on to 2 units to start. And they said they were catching them pretty alright. They said there was a decent amount of fish stacked up over here on what he likes to call dry wash. However, I did one pass when I first got here, kind of on the inside edge where they said they were at, and I didn't really see any fish on the bottom anymore, so I don't know if the current, I don't know if the current maybe took them somewhere else. But lots of leaves in the water, a bit of moss, and the water clarity, the turbidity of it is kind of stained. It's not very clear. Fishing reports have been slow. Roland Duffield, they're up in front of me right now. He said that the fishing this morning was slow. Captain Billy Ibert said that they were finding some on the pink power worm, but they were having to find the real deep water and set their pink power worms way deep. But overall, still reports a slow bites. Oh, okay. No fish on the first cast. My scud found moss. I'm doing a lot of mending of the line. I've got kind of a heavy weight on there, but I'm really trying to just make sure that it gets that scud drifting properly. I think this was probably a little bit better when that water first came on and it was only running 2 units or a little less. I took some friends out fishing last night. The bite was, it was even a little slow last night. We started off on jerk baits and caught a handful of fish between us, and then we switched over to the mega worms under a lighted indicator, little glow stick indicator, and we used chartreuse mega worms and maroon mega worms, and they seem to bite both mega worms about the same, but the bite on the mega worm was definitely a little bit better. Pulling and checking for moss. I feel like there's just a lot of trash floating in the water right now. Oh yeah. You know, I think for the most part here I've got the right amount of weight. My indicator is telling me that the weight's hitting the bottom every 4 or 5 seconds here. So I think I've got that part dialed in. I don't know if maybe a better scud or a different color scud would be better. I think for how fast the water's moving and how stained it is, the size 12 is probably the way to go. But maybe they're liking a different color better, or maybe the bite's just that slow right now. The water did just crank up to 3 units, so they don't tend to care for that super fast water all at once very often. Let's see, I'm gonna turn around and fish the other side here. That's a little bit better. At least my not facing the sun like I was. There's quite the wind blowing right now too. just entered the Narrows. Gravel bar is just a little bit, about 50 foot in front of me. These fish are seeming pretty lock-jawed right now. That might have been a bite. He looks like he hit it on the mend. It is hard to set the hook and mend the line at the same time. Scared to cast this thing right now. That wind is cooking. Talked to a gentleman named Jerry that was staying at the resort, and he went out and threw his mice pattern at the, yep, that's pretty much the end of that. He went out and threw his mice pattern at the dam last night, and so he caught one 20-inch rainbow, caught a few other fish, and had some blow-ups on the mouse. That's a pretty good night of mousing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is one of those things where maybe this would get better if this 3 unit stays running and they settle, the fish settle in a little bit, and you could stay out here and play around with which color and size was working the best. The wind is just blowing me around right now. It keeps blowing my indicator back towards me, which isn't good. I'm trying to keep adrift. It's obviously best when you can keep your indicator and your scud in the water as long as possible. Wow. Drifting right in the flat on Eagle Island right now. And I'm just kind of keeping my, since I can't keep it away from the boat, I'm just kind of high sticking it now and leaving as little line on the water as possible. which is a way to do it. Kind of keeps you from having to mend the line. Oh, dang it. Oh, I had a fish. And so because of the way the wind was blowing me around, all I did was just shorten my cast right to the front of the boat. I'm using the trolling motor to keep the drift the right speed with the wind blowing me. And I've got just about a foot of floating line on the water, and that's it. Don't have to mend it. Just keep my drift going the right speed, and should be ticking the bottom the way it needs to. But some more challenging conditions here right now. We just made it past the tip of Eagle Island. There's been plenty of times where I drifted the Scud from here, kind of outside the trophy area, and done well before. But it has been a good hot minute since I got to come out here in a faster flow and throw a Scud under an indicator, so a little rusty. We'll go for just a minute or two longer, and then I'm gonna call it a day. Maybe we'll pop one below Fall Creek here. Captain Brett Rader that just went by asking if there was any good news, which, and the good news is it's a beautiful day, but certainly have not found the way to catch the fish this afternoon. I saw Roland hook up with at least one fish while I was drifting next to him earlier, so I would be willing to bet he is using the peppy colored Scud. And we just went past the mouth of Fall Creek. Got a little warmer today. I'd be willing to bet it's mid-80s. Once you haven't seen a mid 90-degree day in a few weeks, the mid 80s starts feeling warm again. Oh my gosh, okay. Well, the fish have got me today. But we thank you guys for tuning in today, and we'll get out here and do it for you again tomorrow. Thanks, guys.